When I was a little kid, I loved Laurel and Hardy. And I would go to the movies on Saturday if Laurel and Hardy was there. And my mother would have to get me because I would just sit there through as many times as I could watch. And my mother had to come and get me in the evening. I loved Laurel and Hardy. And in my later life, I got to meet and become friendly with Stan Laurel himself.
You did?
Yes.
How
and I
amazing.
used to go visit him down in Santa Monica. Wonderful English gentleman. And I ended up, as a matter of fact, doing the eulogy at his funeral.
Oh,
And,
wow.
And I met Buster Keaton, the great physical comedian. I admired him a great deal. I learned how to fall down from him.
You,
You know. And I also did the eulogy at his funeral. So it was kind of a glorious thing for me, culminating in that after admiring them so many years ago.
so you met Mr. Reiner came to see you in Bye Bye Birdie in the theater. And so he was inspired then to have you as, you know, on the Dick Van, that's how the Dick Van Dyke show came about?
Well, no, it came about, Carl had written that show for himself. He was Robert Petrie.
I see.
And he shot a pilot with Barbara Britton, if you remember her. And the network said, "You're wrong for the part."
You're wrong for the part.
He'd written it for himself. He said, "We like the show, but you'll have to get another Robert Petrie." Well, I flew out one week and we shot the pilot with Mary. And then I came back into Bye Bye Birdie, and then we heard that the show had been sold. And we came out and started. And it was just heaven from the first day.
It was magical,
God, what a
right?
group.
With Rosemary and Mr.
Maureen,
Amsterdam
yeah.
and, oh
Just-
my God.
We fit together like that from the very beginning.
Miss Tyler Moore seems like such a lovely lady, huh?
She sure
The
is.
best.
At the beginning, I
best.
said, "Gee, isn't she kind of young?" You know, she.
But you were
very
young.
serious.
You were-
Pardon?
You were so young.
Well, I was a lot older than Mary. Though.
Were you?
Yes. And I said, "She sounds a little like Katharine Hepburn. Do you think she can do comedy?" Well, within a couple of weeks, we found out she can do comedy.
Funny. Very, very funny. So tell me, Dick, how do you then define happiness today for yourself as, let's say, when you were 25 years old, as opposed to that? How?
What wisdom have I acquired since then? Well, let me think. Well, I think the most important thing in the world, in this life, is you have to have someone to love. You must have someone to love. For people who live alone, I lost my wife last fall, and it's tragic in that I don't have one. I have my family to love. You need someone to love, and someone to love you. The other thing is, try not to be a part of the problem. Even if you're not part of the solution, try not to be a drag in the world. And if you can find something, as we're talking about, that you love to do with your life, that is satisfying and fulfilling for you, I think that's about it for life. It ain't a test on getting into heaven. It's worth living.
It's worth living. Well, I know we all love you so much, you know. But have you truly felt that love? I mean, you do, don't you?
I'm on my third generation now. I can't tell you. I have to tell you, I was in the market the other day, and this woman, probably in her 40s, had her little girl. She said, "Honey, that's the man who played Bert in Poppins." And she ran over to her little brother and said, "I just met Bert's grandpa."
Is that right? Oh, that's so cute.
The theme song to the Van Dyke Show never had words. Well, Maury Amsterdam, before he died, wrote words to it.
Did he?
And we sing it. You want me to sing it for
I
you?
want you to, yes.
So you think that you've got trouble? Well, trouble's a bubble. So tell old Mr. Trouble to get lost. Why not hold your head up high and stop crying, start trying, and don't forget to keep your fingers crossed. When you find the joy of living is loving and giving, you'll be there when the winning dice are tossed. A smile is just a frown that's turned upside down, so smile and that frown will defrost. And don't forget to keep your fingers crossed. Isn't that a great line?